right, welcome to stream number 8 of the Game Engine stream, I suppose. Welcome. I mean, there's no one here, but I guess I'm saying hi to the YouTube people, right? Let's see if I have any updates or anything right now. Oh yeah. Okay, so I updated the diagram that I'm using for the AI. I only updated it slightly. Basically, if you saw my last stream, you saw that I exited the stream because I needed to take a good think about how I was setting up my data structure for dispatching messages and dealing with delayed messages, right? I kind of figured that out now. I looked at a few resources, so since I figured that out, I updated the diagram a bit to reflect that, and I'll get into that soon. Hopefully, getting this working shouldn't be too crazy, since I already pretty much know what's going on. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get into that in a minute. I don't think I have any other particular news. I'm still thinking about a schedule. If anyone's like wondering like what time I go on, it's basically around like 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to make a guess, or on most weekdays, right? So if you want to make a guess, it would be right around then. But yeah, I still don't have a particular schedule yet, so I will let you guys know when I do figure that out, and I'll post it on Twitch and on YouTube as well. So, given that, let's go ahead and check on the progress board. And let me go ahead and make the cat small. Where is that? Let's see. I'm pretty excited about this stream. This should be the stream where hopefully the AI comes together, and if not this stream, maybe the next stream. But I'm getting pretty close, as far as I can tell. So where is my progress board? Let's go ahead and see. Okay, yeah. So last stream we basically got this part almost done. We're 95% done. So the last part is going to be dealing with the data structure for how do you say, dealing with delayed messages, and I'll show that right now in the updated diagram. But yeah, once we're done with this, hopefully this shouldn't take too long in the stream, and then we can jump straight into getting these functions working in the scripting system. And once we're done with that, we can basically just test the code and then just, see if it's working. If I can get all this done soon, we can just try it. We can just try it out. Boom. See how it works. The way I plan on setting it up in Pong is essentially I'm just going to make a test scene, which is going to be a copy of the current runtime Pong, and I'm just going to edit that test scene and try adding like a few AI features to that one, and just see if it works. And then we'll go ahead and move on to adding some game levels, and I'll think more clearly about how I actually want to get the AI polished and actually in the Pong game. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm not going to edit the progress board at all. If we take a look at the new diagram, you can see that it's basically the same. The only changes I made were this priority queue. So I changed it from, I believe it was a map before, and now I'm changing it to a priority queue, and I'm changing how I'm storing this, so it's still a float this time. So before it was a delay time, like if you delayed it by 2 seconds, it would display 2 seconds. But in this case now, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to get the time when I send a message, right? And I'm like deciding whether I'm going to handle the message immediately or I'm going to delay it. If I decide to go ahead and delay it, I'm going to check the current time, and then I'm going to add the delay time to the current time, and that will be the dispatch time, right? So that way I don't need to loop through all of the, how do you say, I don't need to loop through the entire list every single time to like update the times. The times are just, they'll be how they are, if you know what I'm saying. So all I have to do is just process the ones that need to be handled and then just early out, and I don't have to like iterate through the whole list. And that saves a lot of CPU cycles as well. And I'll show you what I mean when I start coding it right now. But yeah, as far as the progress board, that's all that has changed, to my understanding. So with that, we'll go ahead and start coding. Let me go ahead and pull up the, how do you say? Let me go ahead and pull up the code. And then you can see I made a few changes. It's nothing crazy. I just, this is nothing. I'm about to erase this. I just changed it from float to uint because I was trying to think of some way to deal with this. But I'm pretty sure I'm just going to delete this. And I added a little extra API to my time step. So if you see in my, how do you say, in my on updates, I pass a time step, right? Time step is basically just a float, like data wise, and then just a bunch of accessors for that float. So you can get it in like seconds, milliseconds, and then here I just added one for getting it as a discrete integer, which will truncate the remainder of the, I forget if it's the mantissa or whatever of the float, but the decimal portion of the float, it will truncate it past a resolution of 1000, right? But yeah, these are pretty much just like nothing burger type of stuff. Other than that, I haven't actually modified the structure yet, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that right now. Let me go ahead and open up OBS really quick, make sure everything's working. All right, so I think the first thing, and let me take a look at the docs so you can see what I'm saying. So before I was using a mount, now I'm going to be using a priority queue. And basically, this kind of acts as like a max heap by default. So I need to get it to act as a min heap, which essentially just means that it's a kind of like a, how do I say that? Let me think for a second. So, okay, I think I got it. So it's basically just a list of like elements, right? And then when you insert particular like structs or objects into that list, right? Depending on whatever you template it with, right? Those objects are already sorted based on whatever comparison operation you give, right? And then this STD grader, if you just provide this STD grader to the priority queue, it will make it have the objects with the least value at the top, and then the max value will be at the bottom of the list, right? So when you pull off the top, it will be minimum. The default behavior is the top of the list is the maximum and the bottom of the list is the minimum, right? But what we want the minimum at top, right? Because we want to minimize the how do you say? We want to minimize the time, right? So that, yeah, when we process it, we can just go through all the ones that have already like elapsed and need to be processed, and the ones that don't need to be processed, we can just say, okay, this one doesn't work, so we can just early out, and we don't have to process the rest of the message queue, right? Yeah, and then one of the main restrictions for a priority queue is that you really can't iterate through the entire list at once. I mean, you can, but the thing is you need to destroy and recreate the list, which especially if you have really big objects, can get really expensive really fast, right? So this structure only really works for this particular use case where we just need to run through the top of the stack or the top of the queue, and then once we're good, we can just stop there and we don't have to worry about the rest of the heap. Like it makes a lot of sense for this. And prior, when I was using delays, I was going to have to iterate through the whole list, but after looking at some resources and like kind of figuring out like how this should be set up, I realized that I don't need to iterate through the whole thing. I can just put timestamps and just use the timestamps. That's way easier. It's the same size data-wise, and it does the exact same thing, right? So Okay, enough talking about priority queues. Let's go ahead and start coding. So the first thing I want to do is we're going to go ahead and add a priority queue, which I think is just in queue. And let me check my pgpch file really quick. I want to see if I have queue in here, just so I know I can use it in general. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay. So let me go ahead and switch this over. I believe it's called just priority queue. Yeah. And then we're just going to provide an AI message. Right. And then that's basically it from my understanding. Let me take a look at the documentation again just to make sure, see how they use it. So yeah, we make a priority queue, right? This one's with an integer, sure. And then you fill it, right? So for data, you just go ahead and push it onto the queue, and then this automatically sorts the data depending on, because this is a simple data type. We're going to be using structs, so we need to overload some of these things to make these things work. SCG greater makes the max priority queue act as a min priority. So let me see. I'm wondering what this is. Let me take a look. I'm guessing that's like the preferred underlying data structure, the container that we're going to use. Yeah. So it's automatically assumed to be vector, and I have no reason to change that, so I'm gonna keep that the way it is. It's nice that you can specify that though. It's cool. And then here's the comparisons of SCD less, and then I'm assuming there's a way to overload this. I'm hoping I can provide it as a lambda, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe I can't. Maybe I have to provide an actual like definition. Yeah, like I might have to do like a struct like this. Yeah, see, using lambda, right? But I wonder if I can treat it more like an anonymous. I can just provide it directly. It looks like I just had this lambda, and then okay, then we do decal type for the comp. Okay, can I just provide this directly? Let me ask ChatGPT really quick. See if they know. So, when initializing an SCD priority queue, can I provide a lambda directly into the definition? For the comparison. If I can't, I suppose it's fine, but yeah. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like they use a named lambda, so. And I'm pretty sure they're probably just pulling this. ChatGPT's probably just pulling this information directly from the documentation because it looks the same to me. So I guess I'll assume that I can't, and that's fine. Let me see if it can just give me like a comparison. Can you give me a comparison? Ports. And then let me grab my struct really quick. So AI, yes. There we go. So this one. And actually this is not gonna be called delay, it's gonna be called dispatch. Still float, so shouldn't be an issue. Looks like iMovie has some delay comment stuff. Yeah, don't do that, please. Delay AI service, and then I probably do some stuff. Oh yeah, I'm gonna rewrite this anyways, but yeah, that's fine. And you know what? I guess while I'm here, dispatch time, message dispatch time. Just be extra clear, right? Take this real quick. Oh wait, I searched for it. My bad. I want to message dispatch time. Okay. Still gonna be some errors, but whatever. I'll deal with that in a second. Okay, let me go check for ChatGPT again. So can you give me a comparison function that sorts the following struct based on its dispatch time field? And then I'll go ahead and copy and paste the struct. Here's the structs. That sorts based on similar to std grader. To return true when the first has a greater dispatch than the second one. The largest comes first. Yes, sir. In terms of the element with the largest. Is that what I want? Okay, well, it looks like it's giving me this, so I guess I can work with that. Let me go ahead and paste it. So I'm not gonna put it here, but so it looks something like this. So yeah, const reference, that's good for each message, right? And then we return whether this first one is greater than this one. And let me just ask it. This creates a max heap. Okay. I want a min heap in my for my SCB priority queue. So I want a min heap, and you modify the comparison operation or comparison lambda. You reflect that. There we go. And then either way, if ChatGPT gives me some garbage code, I'll just test it and fix it. So I'm kind of guessing anyway, so I'd say ChatGPT's guess is probably better than mine in this case. Okay, so it says it's supposed to be a min heap. That's what it's supposed to generate. I don't know if ChatGPT is lying to me. I guess we'll see. But yeah. So this should be interesting. So wherever I have the definition for this, I'm going to want to do Is this valid code? Yeah, it is, because I guess it provides like a class, huh? It's just class lambda. I'm wondering if I define this. Okay, because the thing is, like, I need this to be a STD vector of AI message, right? And then the last one is going to be compare dispatch. Yeah, but yeah, of course it can't provide it like that. Not a type name. So, oh, because we need to do decal type. Decal type. Do that. And then I guess that's fine. So I'll say, call this, what do I call this? Let me see. Gotcha. I want to declare, because this is a, how do I say? This is an object, right? And I'm putting this in a header file, so I'm pretty sure this is going to throw link errors. So in order to deal with that, I guess I'll put inline. So if I do like an inline float, right? That should be fine. And then AI message 1 and AI message 2. Don't have the naming scheme. I like it to be more verbose if I can get away with it. Right. Okay, and then the name will be MessageQueue comparison. Let's see. There. And then I might put A in front of it, just for like constant. All right. So this way I have this inline, so it shouldn't throw linker errors. Hopefully, I should check that soon. Yeah, it resolves the decal type, right? And then I'm wondering if I should just put it inside the struct as like a, but I don't love the idea of, like, I like keeping my struct simple, you know, just like simple list data, right? I don't like adding a whole bunch of extra crap on top of it, right? Because I feel like it kind of detracts from the whole like, you know, simple like plain old data, right? You read it, you see the list of data, and then you're done, right? So I prefer this to be outside. I don't love this auto, but I know this is going to resolve to something crazy. Yeah, I'm not defining that here. That's crazy. So I suppose this is fine. Maybe I'll just put a comment on top saying like comparison function for sorting AI messages inside AIContext's MessageQueue. Yeah, I guess that's the best I'm gonna get from that. And then again, just to recap, so now we have this priority queue. Essentially, what this all is setting up is that now whenever we insert like a new object, we push a new object onto this queue, it should automatically call this function as like its comparison operator, and it'll check, okay, like where should I sort this object inside of my data structure, and then it'll figure it out. Go, okay, it should be put in this place. Like say if I have I don't know, like a list of like objects, and then each one has an AI message, but if you're just looking at the time, like the what is it called, the dispatch time for each one, the dispatch time, it should end up sorting it like this, like -1.0, or actually if the dispatch time, it would be like, say the beginning of the time is 0, so we have 0 for the first one for some reason, and then we have like 2.0f, so that's 2 seconds, 2.22f, 5.0f. So these are all the delay times, and you can imagine each one being like a full struct. I'm just putting each time, right? So if I want to insert one that has like insert 1.0f, it's going to like compare, and it'll use its own little operation. I believe the time complexity is O log n, so it's using some sort of like sorting algorithm, I believe. Maybe like a binary search or something. But yeah, it'll eventually compare between the ones, and it'll realize, oh, it should be right here, so it should automatically just put the entire structure right here in the queue, right? So now the queue looks like this, and then whenever we want to like process the data, essentially we're just going to like get the current time. So the beginning current time, I would say, is 0. Now the current time is like 2 seconds. So is current time. So we're gonna look through here, and then we're gonna basically process. We're gonna process this, and we're gonna realize, oh, this is less than 2, this is less than 2, and this is equal to 2, right? So we're gonna process these, pop them off the queue, and then we're gonna hit here and go, wait, no, this is greater than 2. This is greater than the current time, so we're just gonna leave it alone. And then the rest of the queue can just stay like unbothered, right? And then whenever we want to add a new message, we're just going to add it on top of this, right? So that's the basic idea. The only thing is the time is going to increment from the start of the game. I believe glfw just starts the time at 0 from the beginning of the application, and then just increments it based on the application time, right? I forget the maximum time that a float is allowed to have. It uses scientific notation, so I'm assuming it's a huge number. What's the maximum value of a float? Yeah, it's like 1.797 times 10 to the 308. So we're fine. So the main limitations for the float would just be the precision, which I don't care. This is fine. I don't care about precision here. If we have 2 that are like exactly the same time somehow with floats, that's kind of rare, but I suppose it could happen. In this data structure, it won't just overlap it and get rid of the other message. It will still add it. So like, say if I want to add like 2 to this, it's just going to realize that there is a 2 here, and it's just going to add it like either after or before. It doesn't really matter to me. But we don't just delete the message. That was the main concern I had with the previous system, because if I used a set, that potentially could happen. Like, you potentially could compare between 2 different times and then realize that they have the exact same time. And then in that case, it would replace the object, which in that case is bad, because then we don't actually end up sending the message. Or if we had a message already in the queue with the same exact time, that message would get overwritten, and then it doesn't get sent, which is horrible, right? It's not what we want. So yeah. Okay, so I think with that, we're just going to get everything to reflect that new system. So let's go ahead and go check in the actual implementation file. So the first thing is we have this insert thing here. I don't care about inserting. I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, wait, no. This is the message types. No, we're good. Yeah, we don't actually manage the message queue here. So we're good. So the only times we actually manage the message queue is first when we actually, like, save it in, right? And yeah, so here we're not doing insert, doing push, I believe. And we don't push to out, we just push the message itself. And I believe we don't even need to do all this garbage now. We don't need to do this incrementing time thing, because if they're the same, it's not going to fail. So that was the reason why I wrote this entire while loop. So since that's not a thing anymore, we can get rid of this. We get rid of this. We don't need the success thing anymore. We don't need to increment it anymore. We just need to push it, and then it should not fail. So yeah, so that simplifies that a lot. But now the thing is, the message dispatch time is not going to be... Oh, wait, actually, no, this is going to be the delay. My bad, why did I switch this? This is going to be delayed time. So when we call this API, we do just try to provide the delay time. We don't need to be aware of like the current time. But since that's the case, we need to do a little extra processing here. So I believe I have an API for getting the time in my utilities class. So let me see. yeah, I have time. I can just do get time, and I believe implementation-wise, it just gets shift W time, which does some timer minus offset business. Turn to double, which I just cast to a float. I mean, whatever. I mean, maybe I could just return it as a double, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, this just will just get the current glib W time, so that's nice and easy. I believe this is just utility time. So let's head back over to here. Let's go ahead and provide this. And now when we add a time, what we now need to do is actually we can just do it straight in here. Actually, that might be even easier. We're just going to do utility time get time, easy as that. And I believe this just returns it in seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe there's like a comment somewhere. Yeah, return the glib time. This turns the current time in seconds unless the time has been set using glib set time. It measures time lapse since glib W was initialized. And resolution timer is distance dependent. It's usually on the order of a few microseconds. So I mean, yeah, you wouldn't use this for like super accurate stuff, but this is just like a general like message queue. I don't plan on it being. I mean, maybe if I do need really high resolution timers, I can provide that as like a separate thing. But I don't want to be like overdoing it with just like a little message queue. So this is fine. So we're gonna do this plus whatever the delay time is. And then that way when we push it, just gonna push it. And actually, you know what? Now that we have this, we can do an STD move. Really cool. Yeah, because we do either one of these or this, I can just move data in. I don't have to make a copy, which is great. And then we just exit. Because yeah, that's all this function needs to do. And I believe that's all the modification I need to do for this. And then here we just need to do a little bit of modification. So yeah, there's no such thing as a for loop with this anymore. Basically now we're gonna be doing a while loop, but the first thing we need to do is just get the current time. So we're gonna do float current time is equal to, and the same thing as before, utility time glfw get time. I guess I have overloads for like getting the time in milliseconds. Oh no, I had this like weird thing I was doing when I was setting up some time stuff with like time generators, where like it would call like an on timer function, like a reoccurring timer. And then I was doing like some resolution stuff here for like providing it in like a string format. Which now that I'm looking at it, I probably should just use the SCD library, the SCD version of this. So yeah, we have the current time. Cool. So here actually this is gonna look different now. We don't need to decrement anything. We don't need to do whatever. Actually, literally the only thing we need to do is just like do a check loop through, what do I say? Loop through MessageQueue and process how do I say? Process messages if they are due for dispatch. And that's it. Actually, the removal process is already dealt with by the queue, right? So we don't need to do this. We do need to call this for sure. So it should be somewhere in here, but don't need to decrement anything. Should be handled. We do need to check what should be handled for sure. That is something that should be done in the loop. And then check all delayed messages. So this is not necessarily the case anymore. So So now we're gonna do a while loop. For now, I'm gonna put while true. I don't know how I'm gonna set the Boolean thing for this, but I'll go ahead and change that in a second. Well, actually, maybe I should just write it right now. I'll do bool. Why? Bool. Let's see. What should the bool be? Okay, now I'm gonna leave it as true for now. Leave it as true, and then I think the implementation will kind of like inform me of how it should be. So let me look at the documentation really quick for this, just to make sure, because I haven't used these too much. So I believe it's top and then pop. Those are the main ones I want to use right now. So I believe top gets a reference to the current element at the top of the queue, right? And then I believe pop actually gets rid of it, and then yeah, it just gets rid of whatever's on top and then puts a new one on the top of the queue, right? Let's see, STR mix the okay. Pop. Next priority. Okay, so I see them using push. Second, we define a min priority queue, so we're still defining it in different ways. I don't see any actual like usage of it. Yeah, this is just a bunch of definitions. Okay, well, that's not super helpful. I guess I'll just read the documentation. So access the top element. I'm assuming this passes back like a reference. Yeah, const reference of whatever value you put. Const reference, huh? Do I need to modify it? I don't think so. The message should stay the same in this case, since I'm not messing with the delay time anymore. So that's fine. So we get the reference, and then we can like check it, and then indicates whether the container is empty, right? This is a void, doesn't return any information when you pop it. Interesting. Swap in place. So this constructs the object in place, which would be nice. I mean, I already have an SD move for it, so I suppose it's fine. Okay. So I think I know how I'm gonna do it. So the first thing is it gets the current pop message. So that will just be AIContext MessageQueue. A lot of getting this, so maybe I'll just do what is this? This one. Reference is a long type. I think auto is warranted here. Auto reference current message queue. Or I'll just put message queue is equal to AIContext message queue. Okay. So it's easier to deal with. Now we're going to do MessageQueue dot top. And then this should return. We're going to do a AI message reference. AI message. What's wrong? Oh, because it needs to enforce const, right? Sure. Okay. So we get current top message. But I think before we do that, we need to check if the message queue is empty. Message queue dot empty. So, empty. It's gonna be a boolean, right? Let's say if empty. Then go ahead and break. Right. Go exit queue, if empty. Maybe this is not needed, but whatever. So we exit the queue if empty. If it's not empty, then we will continue, right? And yeah, this is like not an error state or anything. It's valid. So we get the current top message if it is valid. This is already ensured that it is valid. And then we want to check if, what do I say, message, if AI message, let's call it current message. Current message, check if current message is check if current message is due for dispatch. So we're going to do if current message dot dispatch time is less than or equal to is less than or equal to current time. So that means it is due for dispatch. And process message or handle message, right? And then we want to remove message from queue. I guess that else is fine here. Go ahead and break. I'll say this while it's not empty. There we go. Okay, cool. So found a way to do that. So while the message queue is not empty, we get the current message and check if the current message is due for dispatch, right? And if it is due for dispatch, as in the dispatch time is less than or equal to the current time, then we handle the message and then remove the message from the queue. And then if not, we go ahead and just exit, right? So I'll say, and I'll make this like crystal clear. Exit if current message and remainder queue is still waiting. That should be pretty clear for this one. So this is like what's assumed with this one is that we are exiting if the top message is not due, and we can assume that this should be the minimum. The top should be the minimum. So everything further down the queue should be greater than this value or greater than this message, which means they all should be not due. So we can just go ahead and exit. So otherwise, and then this will just keep checking if it's empty, and if it is empty, we'll just immediately exit. So while it's not empty, we just keep doing this, right? Okay, so then this is easy. We just do message do dot pop Easy as that. And then here is as easy as just call handle AI message. So here's the thing, I'm providing like an R value. Why am I providing an R value? We do SD move here. Is that strictly necessary? You know what, let me see if that works, because it will just invalidate the memory, and then basically or it'll just move that memory, and then hopefully when I do the SD move, that'll just mean that like this top is still valid at this point. Or sorry, what I'm thinking right now is like, what are the semantics issues with using SD move? Like if I call the function like this, right, I handle the message right here, but instead of new message, it's current message. Thing is, yeah, you can't call SD move on something that's constant in like a reference, because we're messing with the memory, right? So I suppose I'll just put a reference here, and it's fine. Just do const reference, that's fine. And then, I don't know, I guess the whole R value thing was a bit unnecessary here. But yeah, I think that's all the logic for that. Because we're just looping through the message queue. If it's not empty, we're going to process it, and then we get the current top message, and then we check if the message is due for dispatch. If it is due for dispatch, then we're going to go ahead and handle it, and then move it from top of the queue, and then we'll continue the loop. And then if that was the last message, we just exit out, right? But if we reach a message that is not due for being handled, then we just exit out, because the remaining of the queue is fine. It is not ready to be handled yet. So let me just make sure none of my other logic is invalidated by this new setup I have. Handle message shouldn't change, because we're still just handling it. I mean, the only thing here is we're providing a dispatch time now, instead of a delay time. I think that's fine though. I don't even think we really need this, to be honest. But I mean, maybe we could use. You know, I might remove this, to be honest. But well, I guess it can't hurt to just have an extra float here. I don't know. Well, whatever. Send AI message. Yeah, I already handled it with the whole time thing here. So this provides the proper time, and then we just set it, right? And then the delay time is still being checked directly, which is still relevant. So that's fine. None of this logic would have changed. It has nothing to do with messaging. This still provides a timestamp, which I don't think is like necessary at this point, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, because we're not doing that whole like managing time here thing, so yeah, these don't need this anymore. These are the same, we're just managing the context. Yeah, this is still valid. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, I think we're actually done. I think we're done. So first thing, let me see if this compiles. On the take a quick break. And let's see. These compilation times. Okay, there we go. Let's see. I just want to see if it compiles. If it compiles, I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Cool. Alright. So, I think... Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good with this. These, I mean, I don't know if they're working. But I'm gonna take my W. So let's go ahead and connect, and then we'll go ahead and test the. Maybe I should be more specific about this. I can't edit these. Hold on. Here we go. Test AI service. functions. There we go. Alright, but yeah, this is done. So the next thing, and by the way, I didn't expect this to be done so fast. I mean, I said it'd be like half an hour or something, but I didn't actually expect it to actually take like 30-40 minutes. So that's good. So now I need to figure out which functions I need to expose to the scripting system, and then just go ahead and provide those. So let me take a look at the API and see what is needed. And actually, let me look at here. This will be easier to figure out. Oh. Wait, I gotta be right back. My music stopped. Oh, there we go. All right, vision. All right, I'm back. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, let me see what I want to expose to the script. So we have on updates. Don't want to expose that. So all three of these, the revert, change, and change, the global and the current. So we want to expose these, and then send message. We want to expose that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are internal. And I think that's it. That's all we have to expose. So, yuck. I'm gonna go and put that in my little workspace thing. Okay, let's go ahead and start with this. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over a little bit. Do that one. There we go. Switching over the music. All right. So first thing, when we are making a new script, I think the first thing that's important is figuring out how it's going to look like in the actual scripts themselves, right? So let me go over to my test script and go try it out really quick. So yeah, the AI message is definitely gonna look like this, I believe. So we'll have like something like this. We'll do message type. So message type. Send bacon. Okay, provide the current entity, the new entity, and then the delay. I'm thinking maybe I should put a tolerance for this, because I'm imagining if I do put 0, I'm assuming I would want it to be sent like immediately. However, floating numbers are imprecise, so it might put it into the dispatch queue, even though I really just wanted it to be handled immediately. So one thing I can do, sorry, I was drinking some water, by the way. Let's see. Let me go check this API really quick. So I check if delay time is greater than or equal to 0, right? But I really should be checking a tolerance for this. So maybe like 0.0025 or 0.001. Maybe that'll be my tolerance. So like 1 millisecond. So the delay time is greater than 0.001. So anything less than a millisecond will just immediately get handled, right? And then anything greater than a millisecond will be put into the delay queue. So I think that'll fix that issue. So now if I put 0, right? Usually the precision of it will still be greater than like a millisecond, so, or 3 decimal points, so should be fine. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this API, to be honest. So let me go ahead and add some more. Let me do AI change global state. states. And then what we want is the entity that we're going to modify. And then, ooh, okay, we need to do state. Oh, that's interesting. So you wouldn't provide the handle, or maybe you would. That's interesting. Yeah, I actually have to think about that. How do I do that for other scripts? Let me see what my current API looks like. So if I look at one of these, I have like a string for player 2 score, a string for this. Where do I provide handles? This just provides the string, and then we do like comparison operations, which is not amazing. So there's a few ways I could deal with this. I could just put the name of the new AI state I want. So like currently I have this test AI. So I'm assuming it would look something like test AI, not AI state. And then what I would do is I would take this name, right? And then I would resolve it down to like a handle in the scripts, right? And then just go from there with that, right? I could do that. And I think for now I might just do that actually. Just because it's kind of the easiest thing and I can kind of deal with it. The only other option I could think of is like doing something like this where I have like an AI and then I have like the different states like directly in here. So I have like test AI, something like that. And I totally could do that. Yeah, I totally could do that, but I don't know if I want to start adding all this stuff everywhere just yet. Because this is going to require a little bit of like reworking my scripting system. And although it is a pretty nice API, it's going to require some very particular considerations. So I think for now I'm going to keep it like this. Yeah. And then say if I had an AI state in like, I don't know, in here, I put an AI state right here in the audio, and I called it the same thing. It would be called audio / test AI state.ai state, like that. So yeah, I think that's fine. And then basically this is going to be the same thing, but just current. And then this one is going to be the same thing, except we don't even provide the we don't even need to provide a new state. We just do here, and then we'll call it revert previous state. And just provide the entity, and that's it. The other approach I could do for this is I could do something like current, let's see, current entity dot, I could do like AI and then change global state. And then this way I don't need to provide like the when we're changing, we just provide like the state. Test AI dot AI states. Yeah, I could go either way with this, honestly. I think to be more consistent with my current API, I might go with this one. Let me look at some other examples. If I go to the currents, right, currents entity, and do a transform, set translation, right? So this will set the translation of the transform component, which just purely modifies the data there. Which is fine. Let me see this. Let me see some other ones. If I do a rigid body, set linear velocity, get linear velocity. Because in reality, this is more like a like this API is pretty similar to this, I would say. Like not the way it looks, but like functionally it's basically the same thing. I'm basically just interacting with the physics system to get this information, which is the same thing as this. This one I do it through here, which is interesting. Yeah, you know what? I am leaning towards this now. I think about it, because it's more consistent with my API. And really, the only thing that's really being modified is the data inside of this this component or this entity, right? So I think it makes sense for this to be like kind of like a member function-esque type thing, right? But I am going to leave this one alone, because I think send message, it should be very clear that we're sending this type with this like receiver, this sender, this receiver, and then this delay time, and we're sending it through a system. But the remainder of these should look something like this. Let me see. Change global state, and we're going to do similar to this. Change current state, and this one's going to be revert to previous state. And the remainder of these can just, you know, like go away. And then this is unnecessary. And then yeah, it'll just look like this. Okay, yeah, I think I'm settling on this. This is fine. So let's go ahead and close this, and then go on my notepad really quick, and I'm gonna put how I really want it to look here. I'll just put it over here for a second. So let me go ahead and copy and paste these. Okay, and then the C++ version of this. Should look something like change global states AI underscore change global state. And we're going to provide the current entity ID, or I suppose it would look like this, current entity, and then we're going to do the audio. Oh, no, but actually this should end up just being a UUID. This will be something like this. Yeah, something like this. And then for this one, it's maybe currents. Same thing. This one is going to look like entity, and then we don't need to provide this, just current entity. And then this one, a little bit different, it's going to be send message. And then we're just going to provide how do I say? It's going to be like a hash string for the number. Entity. New entity. And then 0.0. Yeah, this is what the C++ scripts will like end up compiling into. From here to here. Okay, so let me go ahead and start providing this part. Give me 1 minute. I'm just gonna get some water. Oh my. Okay. The first thing, let's go to the script compiler. We don't need any tokens. I think the main thing is we just need to look at the language definition. So these first three have to do with the primitive types in the entity. So we're gonna head down to the entity. And then yeah, we're gonna need to specify a few things. So this one is has component. This is just a function directly on the entity. My voice right now. Directly on the entity. Actually, I should get rid of this API entirely. Now that I think about it. Actually, you know what? I am going to get rid of this API entirely. Man keeps doing that. I think that's good. Just go ahead and erase all these. All right, so entity has component. We went for transform. And it's a function like this. Get translation, set translation. So pretty similar to one of these actually. So let me actually just copy and paste one of these. So we want this down to I believe here. Make some space real quick. Alright, and then we're going to get rid of, I believe, this whole get translation thing right here. Because we're only adding one function at a time currently. Set translation has a whole thing, so this one's going to be called AI. This entity member is a transform component. Is a AI state. We call it AI or AI state? The AI state is an AI state component. components. The component stores the location size. And I'll say this component stores the AI current, global current, and previous states, and uses them to provide autonomous. I would say provide a managed state machine in the engine. I'll go back to the description later. It's fine. The AI state, yeah, it's a none type, so this would be invalid if you tried to just use it. That's true. That translation. Okay, so now we're going to do the first function. And let me pull up my trusty. We'll pull this over for a second just so I can see it on the screen. Okay, so these are going to be AI states instead. Let me just modify that really quick. So the first one's going to be called change global state. Okay, and then return type is none, yeah, because, yeah, it doesn't return anything valuable. That's the position. Okay, so that's not what this does. This function changes this entity's global state to be indicated as a value. This function takes in the name of, I'll say the, takes in the location. This function takes in the location of what? Of an AI component in the current project. As a parameter. That's really the kind of thing you do for fun. I wouldn't be doing it if it was boring. Indicate state. Indicate state. Okay. So yeah, this returns nothing. Its name is changed global state. Description's fine. So now we need to provide the data we need to, or like the acceptable type. So here it's going to be primitive type, called string, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Scroll down to wherever I find primitive types. No, wait. Actually, I don't do it here. My bad. I have just. Let me scroll really quick. Yeah, here it is. It's just called string. Cool. So string. Identifier. We call it new states location. On generate getter. So this is how I'm going to generate the actual codes. I'll deal with this in a second. Okay, I think we're fine. So I believe that's enough to get this to work. So we will have this based on an entity. So that already works here since we're defining it inside the entity data type. We're using the AI state, which we defined here, right? We're using change global state as the name. And then we're only providing one string, which is this, and I labeled it as the state's location. So now the last thing is just changing this into this. So the first thing is taking this and providing it here. And then we need to provide the entity, which I believe we already do with the other function. So that's here. And then we provide the first argument, which is here. But the thing is, we can't just provide it directly as a string. We need to do some processing here. So let me think for a second. So we're assuming this is a token. Actually, not necessarily. Okay, yeah, I really gotta see how I do this. Because, what do I say? Like this, you could, in theory, I would also want you to be able to do this. Like have just this flatly, or you can have it plus, that should work. But you know what? For now, I'm just gonna not export it. That wouldn't be too hard to add, but for now, I think I just want you to like plainly state which state you're gonna use, and then I'll add that like if it's necessary, I suppose. Yeah, so this is doing something I think I want from this, so output expression. This just generates the expression, I believe, but it checks if it is a literal. And then it outputs like this. This I don't really care for this, honestly. I just want the integer to be provided, so I don't care about that. I do want something like this, where it checks the name and then provides like a number instead of like the actual name. And then I think it assumes that it's going to be this. And if not, I guess we assert here. I think an assert here would be weird, but I guess that's how I do it right now. I don't know. But yeah, something similar to this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and yoink this. And then I'm gonna say outputs the UID of AI state. So we want to output the UID of the AI state if it's. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get the expression. So it's this func arguments at 0. This is an expression. So I think it's value. Okay, and then this is gonna be called AI state expression. I suppose that would be the name. This assert should be fine. Okay, and then this time we're not doing this per se. I do want to do this for sure, but it's gonna be slightly different. So here we're gonna check if UUID is valid. That's what we want to do. So we're going to get the assets, asset service, and then we want to get AI states registry. Okay. And we're actually gonna do a for loop here. And I don't care if this requires a lot of extra processing, honestly, because we're just gonna compile the stuff once, and then at runtime we don't have to worry about this again. So you go ahead and do an auto reference. And then I think the first thing I provide from the registry is a handle and then an asset. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I think it'll yell at me if not. Handle asset. The asset is what I want. So we're gonna do. Okay, so we might do a boolean here. We're gonna say boolean found. States. Found AI states. Assets. Yes. And then we're going to say if asset dots data brief dot. I think it's just file location is equal to the AI states expression dots value, because the value here for the string is I think it will provide it directly, so this should be fine. Oh wait, pointer. So check for identical final location. And now maybe this is just having an issue with string versus the path, maybe. Oh wait, this is a okay, so the expression has a value. This token expression node. Let me go check. I think the token expression node has a return type and a value. Yeah. So we're gonna do value value. I believe that's a string, and we can check with that. So a ton of string operations. That's fine, because again, we're just doing this once when we run it. So check for identical file location, and then if it's true, then we're going to say found AI state. That's it. If it's true, we're going to go ahead and break out because we found it. Right? And then what is going on with this one? Oh, because this isn't a pointer. This is a script token, which is an actual type, or it's a stack value, right? Okay. And then we say, here's where we want to do this. There we go. We output the handle now. And then we exit, and then we're good. And then we'll say, if not found AI states, then maybe I'll do a KG1. Say, would not locates AI state handle by state asset from provided file location. Right, there we go. Cool. So yeah, I think that's good. And then the remainder of this is just garbage, I believe. And this will generate the text, but I think, I don't know, maybe I want to like exit out, or maybe like throw like an output error or something. That would require me like adding like a new like error API to this. I could actually, I could just change these getters into like a boolean for indicating whether like the generation was successful or not. But yeah, I'll do that later when I'm like doing like a full audit of these things. Generation. But you know what? Actually, I think I do want to KG assert this because I think it'll remind me that I need to deal with this issue. Because if I leave this in the way it is, it's just going to cause undefined behavior. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, basically, this should generate the correct information. I believe in that we can go ahead and test this in the actually, let me test it right now, just to make sure I didn't mess anything up before I start copying and pasting code. Okay. Test, let's see. So if I do current entity dot AI state, change global state. Then we just provide a string, I believe. So I'll do test AI dot AI state. It looks like that's valid. And then let me get rid of all these other error ones that aren't valid yet. So it'll actually like build. Let's try it out. Could not find AI state in provided application. Interesting. Because the expression here interesting. For some reason, I'm adding. Why am I adding like an extra? Double quotes surrounding the string. That's weird. I might need to process that. Let me ask ChatGPT real quick. Might be an easy way to do this. How can I remove new line, double quotes characters from a string as a function? Can you give me a generic that takes in a car and a string and a car? The function then removes, how do I say it? Then removes something. Can you give me a generic function that takes in a string and a car and then removes the indicator replicated car from the string. Okay, yeah, something like that. That's good. So erase, begin to end, car to remove. Okay, this is the function I got from ChatGPT. It's like this. So remove car takes in the. Why are we making a copy of it? I don't want to const. Okay, no. I just want a reference. And then car to remove. And then I'm gonna do a void. Remove car from string. Character, I'll put character. Rather be verbose. So then, yeah, why are we copying it? It's ridiculous. Erase. And we're gonna put, we'll call it input string. Input string. Here. Here. And here. Just say all instances of the indicate of to remove from the input string. Maybe that's something I should put at the top of the function, but whatever. Then we return. Actually, we just call that function. Nice one liner. There we go. Let me go put this in my utilities really quick. To which one do I do? Operations, maybe? Maybe it's conversions. Car buffer float to string. Yeah, these are just straight up conversions. Timer, those don't make any sense. Random doesn't make any sense. Maybe operations. Run down. Character from string. Oh, I already have one of these. So the question now is like, let me ask ChatGPT. Does this function remove all instances of the replicated car the string? This is the specified character from the given, because it's a C++ 20 feature, so I'm assuming otherwise we would have used that other function. Okay, so I already have this. Right, maybe I should just check fire. No. Okay, so I should just use this. I don't even know why I wrote the function. So I think what I need is I'm going to have to make a copy, but that's fine. SD string, query string, query location. It's equal to this. Okay. I'm going to do query file location. Wait. Utility. I think it's operations. And then we do remove. But we don't have that here, so let's go ahead and add it. Cardano, utility, operations. Remove. Character from string. Here we go. And then the string in question is this one, and the character is this one. We're gonna get rid of all the quotation marks. And I believe that should deal with it. Oh, I need to use the query string. Query file location. Alright, let's try that again. Again, I'm not too worried about the performance of this because this is in my scripts, and when I need to optimize the performance of my script compiler, I'll go ahead and deal with it then, but for now it's fine. And this only runs in the case of this very, very particular function, so yeah, it's fine. I do need to note that to myself though, that I do need to provide a like an error API for the script output generator, or maybe I should just do some processing in like a distinct like processing step, right? And then maybe the output generator will just generate output, and you don't have to worry about processing things like this in the output generator. Yeah, I'll think about that later. Let me go ahead and write it down really quick. Add a validation layer. Because the way it currently stands, it is kind of all over the place. Okay, still compiles good. I mean, still doesn't throw an error. Still, huh? Could not locate. So if I go to my AI registry. Interesting. Yeah, I know. Let's compile it again. So if I go here, handles this. Asset is allocation test AI.kg. Okay. And the query file location test AI.ai state. Oh, I just mistyped it. Okay, that's fine. Still. What? Okay, that's weird. That is weird. That didn't work. Probably because I edited it and then didn't recompile. That's... Well, no, I didn't edit it though. What? Yeah, that's weird. Let me take a look at this. So if I open up tests, this is still AI, that's fine. Okay. The query, we already processed it, so it's test AI.ai state. Okay. Test AI.ai state. Oh, KG AI state. Okay, yeah. Try it one more time. There we go. There we go. Cool. So now when we output, it outputs to AI, change global state, provides the current entity, right? and then provides the UUID. Golden, right? And previously just wasn't outputting it, so that would have caused the thing. So yeah, it's a good thing that I'm asserting. And I'll deal with that more graciously in a bit. I think I just need to add like either errors to the output, or just again just make another, just a separate validation layer between the script parser and then the output generator. And then in that part I will actually like process the AST. So I'm leaning on that one actually. But yeah, it looks like it's working, so cool. So now that I have this translating, this statement translating into this statement, I just need to do that for the remaining two over here. And then I might just go ahead and get this done as well. Okay, let's see. So if I come over here, so prototype.members.add this one. So we don't want to add a new AI state, but what we do want to add is a new function every time. So I'm going to keep doing this over and over again. Okay, so this is going to be change current state. So current, right? Current. Still takes in a string, takes in the new state location, that's still fine. We want it to output as current state now. And I think everything else just stays exactly the same. If I'm not mistaken. Just double checking really quick and make sure. Yeah, no, yeah, I think we're good here. So another add one more function, but this one is going to look a little bit different. Let me take a look here. So instead of change current state, it's going to be revert to previous state, and we're not taking in a parameter now. So it's going to be called revert to previous state. Maybe it's called a revert previous state, I don't know. Yeah, just revert previous state. So returns nothing. I believe I can just not bother with the types on this one. Yeah, we don't even need to bother with the parameter, so let's get rid of that. And then this is going to change to its previous state if it exists. Takes the location of the AI state component in the current as a parameter. Yep. Oh yeah, so this function takes no parameters. So this one's going to be called revert to previous state. And then comma and everything isn't necessary now, so let's go ahead and remove it. This one takes no parameters. I think that's it. So yeah, I think that's it. Now I think if I run this, all of the functions should work now. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to do previous state. Oh, no, not previous. Right, state. And this one's going to be called revert to previous state. And this takes in no parameters. There we go. So let's go ahead and compile it. And perfect. Yep. So yeah, this is the final versions of each. And these ones are ready to be just sent straight into the engine. Okay, so last thing before I start hooking everything fully up, I do want to get that other function working. So this one. And this one's going to look a bit different. So this one is going to have its own namespace. So instead of working in this member section, I'm going to head back up to the create language def. And then instead of working with the primitive types, we're going to be working with function definitions and namespaces. So let's go to namespace first. Make sure the AI exists. So we'll go ahead and add AI. Access to rights functions. Functions that interact the AI system in the engine. Yeah, good enough, I suppose. Now we just need a function definition, and then we should be good. So we're gonna scroll down. Let's find find one that like makes the most sense, I suppose. Let's go with this one. This time we're going to not use AU. I'm using AU. AI. Okay. The name of the function is going to be send message. And we take a look at the parameters. This is going to have 4 parameters, which is going to be interesting. So the first one's going to be a primitive type, and this one is going to be called... Oh, we actually need to check this one at a time first, because we're going to have a primitive type called message type. Yeah. So we have a primitive type called message type. So we're going to use that. Return type is none. That is true. Primitive type is message type. We'll assert that, or we'll make sure that that's true. We're going to call this message type. Add that. Okay, next thing's going to be a entity. So we're going to type entity. Call it sender entity. To another entity. Call it receiver. Just one more time. And then the last one's going to be a float. I'm going to say delay time. And then I believe, yeah, the namespace becomes nothing. And then the name of the function itself gets modified, but everything else, I believe, just gets evaluated in place, so it should be fine. Or it should read exactly the same in the function. So the only distinction to make here is that this now needs to be called a new name. This is going to be called AI send message. And then, yeah, these will get evaluated like in turn, right? And then, yeah, this is exactly what it's supposed to be. So the only other thing is adding a description, and then it should be available. So send a message from the indicated sender entity to the indicated receiver entity. The first parameter is the message type. Second parameter is the sender entity. Third parameter is the receiver entity. And the final parameter is the delay as a float. And I'll provide this parameter information more succinctly later. In the little description box that pops up when you hover. But for now, this is fine. So I think that's it. I think this is literally all I have to do. And then it should turn into the correct type. So let's go ahead and try this. Okay, the namespace exists, and then this function exists. And I believe if I can get these to work, we're about halfway done. Really, the last thing at this point is just to get them like connected with their counterpart functions in the engine, right? Like inside the engine, right? And then that should be it. So let's go ahead and try to surround this function. First thing should be, I think, a message type. So I think the only message type I have is message type. Yeah, I still don't have an autocomplete message type, so I'll go ahead and add that later. Current entity, new entity, and last thing is the delay. Okay, that is valid. Cool. No description, send a message. From the indicated sender entity to the indicated receiver entity. The first parameter is message type, second parameter is the sender entity, and the parameter is the delay as a float. Okay, so this is cool. Make sure that this compiles correctly. And I think we're done with the front end of this. Yep, so we have the number for this particular ID, or for this particular type, right? We have the current entity, we have the new entity, and then we have delay. AI send message, AI revert previous state. Yep, everything's looking good. The current entity will be sent as variable, and then the type is just like a number ID, so we can just reference that later. But yeah, everything is looking pretty good in my opinion. So I think from here, let me go check what I was doing. I'm gonna put one smiley face because we're gonna have to do both of these. Alright, so the next thing for both of these, I just need to hook them up into the actual scripts. And then after that, I think we're done. So, cool. Alright. Use the restroom really quick. I'll be right back. right, I'm back. Let's see. All right, so let's see where I left off. So provide on message function descripts. All right, on message, right? Let's see. Oh, no, not on message. No, I already got these in. So basically now I just need to hook them up with the end functions, right? So the actual functions themselves are already basically hooked up, or they're not hooked up, but they're basically like already written. So if I go to the AI service, right? I go here, I have a bunch of static functions. So these I can just call, right? And they're already set up with the correct information. I have an entity ID, and then I have a asset handle for each of these. Providing a uint32t, this one, 2 IDs, and then a float. So these are all like perfect the way they are. So basically we just need to go into the scripting service. And this is kind of like the bridge for where I connect my engine functions into my scripts, so the scripts can call engine functions, right? So I believe I do that. Do I do that in here, or do I do it in the? I think I do it in the builder. So, but they're both in the same CPP file, which is kind of weird. I want to change that, but I think I had it like that for like a particular reason. But anyway, script builder here. Sure. Let's go to that. Let's go to the script module. There we go. And then I think the bottom is where I have like a big list of these things. I do. Okay. So we need a new section for this. We're just gonna, I guess, just throw it at the end, right? As good of a place as any. Okay, I'm gonna call it, give them all their names. So AI, let me go find these names really quick. So the first one is AI send message, right? AI send message. And let's go get the actual function, which we need to actually include it here. So actually include Cardano AI service. There we go. Let's head back down. Okay, now it's available. Let's go ahead and plug it in. So we're going to do AI service, and then this one's going to be send message. There we go. Perfect. And this one is probably going to be a new type because it's so long, right? So it's a void. I believe it's a uint32, or is it an int32? No, it's a uint32. Yeah, uint32, and then we have a uint64, a uint64, and then a float. Right. Yes. Okay, and this is throwing errors because I haven't defined this type yet, I believe. But yeah, uint32t, UUID, which evaluates down to a uint64t, another uint64t, and then a float. That looks great. Now let's do the other one. So we'll start with the change global state. Let's go ahead and put this in here. And then let's go ahead and get that function. So change global state. And this one, I believe, takes in, yeah, so a uints and the handle for the asset, right? Did you right? Okay. Okay, so then this definition is going to look a little different. We're going to do void. First thing is the uint64, since that's the ID, and then the other thing was the, what was it? I think it's also an asset handle, so I think it's also a uint. So uint64, which I think should already be a thing, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. And then this one I'm just going to call current. Change current state, and then change the name to current state over here. And then this one I'm going to call revert to previous states. This one is going to be the revert to previous state. Oh, I call it 2? I guess that's fine. Maybe I should rename it though. Yeah, just revert previous state. And then this one is going to be a void uint64. Just plain and simple, because we just need the ID of the entity, and that's it. Don't return anything, we're good. So I think this is the easiest one. I'm gonna go ahead and set this one up first. So this one, let me put this in my little notepad workspace really quick. Okay, so let me scroll up. So this is void uint64, right? There has to be a void uint64, right? It's crazy if there's not. Wow, I really don't have a void uint. Yeah, because I think I've been using strings for the most part. So yeah, I guess not. Kind of wild that I don't have that. So I guess, yeah, we need to add this void uint64. Scroll up. I'll usually skip this for a second. Come back to it. Because this is where I usually start. So void uint64, which is just a 64, right? Let's go down. Okay. Void uint64 as well. Uint64. Cool. Is there anything else I want to add here? I don't think so. Again, here's where we put the definition again. So I think we're going to put it. Oh, well, we need to sort of per number of parameters. This one only has 1, so I'll just put it right here, and then we're going to do 4, and then let me get the name of this. This is AI revert previous state, and I probably will be transitioning this over to like. I will probably be using this definition more often and soon, because this is the more efficient version of a lot of, basically these, where I have void string. I'm probably going to be converting a lot of these into just void uint64s. Not this in particular, this log is fine, the way it is. But yeah, other cases it will change over. Something wrong with this one? I think it's fine. Just one parameter, yep. Inserts. Okay, so here is where we need to add the new type, so yeah, I suppose it's a good place. So where's my void uints? Yeah, I guess there's not really much of an organization going on here. I'll just throw it over here. See, yeah, see this is ridiculous. Like, a lot of these don't need to be here. I can just provide the asset ID and then we're good. So yeah, get rid of like 90% of these. I'll make this one. Okay, goes back, and this time we don't want this, we want uint64, so T. And then it's not called void string, it's called void uint4. If I misspell it, it's gonna yell at me. And then let's get the name of this just to be clear. Or, I mean, let's get the name because we need it. Alright, so void uint64. Alright, that exists now. Cool, didn't mess up this. And the only one available right now for this is the AI revert previous state. So let's go down. I think that's it for this. I don't know why there's a space here. Yeah, why are these defined? I must have removed them at some point or something. Like I was using them for a second and then I removed it, so this is why it's empty. If so. Do I have something for set field? Hold on, I'm kind of just doing something Let a random real quick. The scenes here? Or so. Okay, never mind. I guess it's fine. Okay. Well, since this one's already defined, I just get it done really quick for the current state. And the previous state for that matter, actually. So let's... Actually, let me put these on top so it doesn't throw errors. Oh, I guess the little state is throwing errors. What is that? You went 64, you went 64, little state. Why? Wait, you went 64, you went 64 is not a thing. Really? Okay, well. I'll go ahead and do these both at the same time. Really? Interesting, that's not a thing. I guess try to make it a thing. You int 64. So that is now a thing. Let's scroll through and add all these. Okay, so the first thing is, I guess I'll just, what? Why is Control D not working? Yeah. And then you int 64 underscore T. Yep. Okay. Okay. Alright, so these ones have two parameters, so I'm going to put them, I guess, right here. You int 64 underscore T. And this first one, I'm going to go ahead and call the global state. And the next one's going to be the current state. So we're going to double this one up. There we go. And then here, I guess I'll just put it right after. This is void, right? Yeah, just make sure I didn't throw in a silly bug. Okay, so 64, and then I'm gonna verify another UNT 64 underscore T. And then this time we're going to do AI global states. Okay, so now we have both of these here. I think that's it for these two. Yeah, see, now these are good. So the last thing is just the send message, which, yeah, is definitely going to be its own unique thing. Ooh, here's some water real quick. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, very unique type. Let's go ahead and add this. So this one's going to be a void. You know what? I'm just going to copy and paste it. Try to... I'm definitely going to throw in a bug if I try to do that by hand. Okay. Okay. So let's do this here. And go ahead and paste this here. And okay, then we got a 32, 64, 64, and then a float. And then I'm gonna go ahead and actually copy this in particular because I don't want to keep going to rewrite that. That might cause a bug. 64, 64 float. And that's right. So So here we're just going to duplicate this one. Grab that. And grab that. There we go. Okay, this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4 parameters, so one of the new ones. This one's called AI send message. Oh my god, okay. Oh, please. Yep, here we go. 4 parameters, perfect. This will definitely be a new type, but just similar to this one. Paste the name, get the types. There we go. And then we just want the name. So the name is just going to be this. Okay, so now they're connected. I don't see any errors. I think I'll compile it. I'll see if it yells at me. There might be an issue with every time I modify these things, there's always like an error that gets thrown. So I just need to get it to resolve real quick. What's wrong? Okay. Ow. Am I walking? You just meowing? Just let me know. Head over the door, I'll let you out. Okay, okay. So I think at this point, I really just need to test it. As long as this compiles, that'll mean that these functions should be in. Alright, so it looks like it compiled. I think it will yell at me a little bit. It'll be like, yeah, see, it's missing some types. So I think it's going to, I gotta rebuild it really quick. Hopefully there's no issues. Let's see. I don't know. Okay. So now I'm not going to try and run it because I believe it's currently in an error state. So let me go ahead and open it again. Again, this is not something someone who's like running the engine would deal with. It would. Wait, could not load. Interesting. Wait, could not load void uint64 function from scripted DLL. Did it not build last time? Maybe it failed. Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't think that built correctly. Okay. Token type, there's a lot of tokens. Let me go up. Yeah, let me head up to the top and see what happened. So, oh, token parsing failed. Argument count and function call 3 does not match the function parameter 7. What? 7. Okay, well, I mean, I can kind of guess what's wrong because I just added something. Okay. I can kind of guess what's wrong. Let me go check. I probably threw in a bug when I was editing the script compiler. Let's go over here. It looks like it's in the function definitions. Let's go take a look. I believe it's here. Yeah, I forgot to clear it. Yeah, that was it. I just forgot to clear it. So I might need to rebuild it. Yeah, that's a lot of errors. Holy crap. Do you want to go out, Katie? Hey, your coat looks better though. You got that winter coat? Alright, let's try it again. Okay, I didn't see any issues. So let's close it for a second. Open it back up. And let's see what's up. Okay, I didn't see the little red warning this time, so that's good. I think that's a good sign. Let's see, please. Okay. Okay, well I didn't break anything, so that's good. I think I'm player 2 on update called. Probably get rid of that, huh? And on create as well. Yeah, let's get rid of that. So I'm gonna go to my scripts. Player 2 on update and on create. Let's get rid of this log. And then on update. And yeah, we definitely get rid of this log. Okay, let's recompile. I believe I fixed the recompilation issues I had prior, but I mean, we'll see if it gets mad at me. Nope, that's good. Ooh, okay, I'm actually excited to see if this works. Yeah. Yeah, I think at this point it's really just gonna be testing. Let me make sure I didn't. Oh yeah. So before it was calling on update. Now it's clear, so we're good. So let me go back to. How do I say? Let me go back to my progress board. I haven't looked at this in a while, but yeah, I think we're good. We're good. We're going to need to test a few things. One thing I can think of right now that probably needs to be dealt with is the fact that I don't think we're resetting our scripting like information whenever we modify the message types. That was something I had in the back of my head while I was working on this. So what I mean by that is if I go to the projects, right, and I look at all the current message types I have available, right? Currently there's only that like one bacon one or something. I don't know. So the thing is, like, if I add a new one, like I say, like something more serious, like I don't know, fast AI. I don't know, because this will probably be like, what not message types we're doing. Or I don't know. I don't know what I would use as messages between entities in this case, but let me just put a random example then. And what is going on? All right, here we go. How about send bacons? Let's send lettuce. Please tell me that's how you spell lettuce. Anyways, if I go here, I don't think send lettuce is a thing. Send lettuce. Yeah, see, it's not a thing. And then if I remove send bacon, I don't believe it'll become a, it'll like realize that. So if I go here and delete send bacon and save it, but yeah, this thing still thinks this is the way it is. And then if I go to how do I say? If I reload it, now it should like process correctly. So now when we try to send bacon, it's gonna be like, what are you talking about? This is a really easy fix though. Yeah, see now it's like send bacon, what are you talking about? So what we need to do is just whenever we modify, like do a CRUD operation on these message types, we just need to make sure that we update the language definition. That's it. So let me go to the project now. And let me look at the initialize message type resources. And then message type table, on refresh, sure. Here, okay, so on refresh, and then what we want is you want to do s editor app, which is always available in all of my panels. I want to get the which one? Oh no, wait, actually no. My bad. What I meant to do is I want to go to my scripting. Script compiler service, so it's not available here, so I need to provide it. Hash include Cardano's scripting script compiler service. There we go. And then we want to create language definition. I think that's it. But we just need to do this whenever we actually whenever we modify one of these, it needs to update the language def. So if we edit it, yep, definitely. If we on delete action, yep, we want to definitely load that too. And then upload contents, that's fine. Delete action, yep. So if we delete, edit it, or create it, either way, we need to update the language def. So now when we edit it, it should update the linter, which should now recognize like what's going on. Miss old lady. Really, Brian. Okay, let's see. So if I go to here, right, and send lettuce is cool, but it needs some bacon, right? So let's go to project settings. Let's head down to message types, and let's go ahead and add one. We're just gotta add the bacon, right? Okay. Now I believe I have to like kind of reset it. But yeah, the language definition did update. Maybe I'll add something where like it will like tell this to like refresh or something. Do I already have an API for that? I might actually. Let me go check my text editor panel. I might already have an external panel for like open file, reset panel resources, refresh. Script editor. Oh, I have a thing for this. Okay, I don't. Okay, well, let me just do that then. That's better. Yeah. Do s editor app. M_. Oh, and another quick fix I had in the back of my head too. Let me go ahead and write this down really quick. move whitespace. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Whitespace. It's a small thing, but I kept thinking about it and I want to fix it before I move on. Move, so sorry, what is it? My brain. My brain. Text here. Refresh. That's what I want.
Are we on the air?
Yes, you
We can
are.
get rid of this.
I'd like
There
to
we
hear
go.
a new beat on the request line.
Okay, so that's fine. That should work now. And then maybe in here I could probably provide some logic for like maybe refreshing the like telling the table to like refresh or what. Maybe I should do that now. I don't know. Like why not? Because check for errors is usually called. Where is this called from? Let me see. Oh, it's just called when we do if I change it, if I change the file extension, and I think it's also just when I like click, I also check it, so that's fine. I think what I want to do is when I refresh. You want to go, Kitty? Okay. Let's see. So here we're just going to do check for errors. That's it. That should refresh it. So let's try that. And that way I can just call this function and then it should just automatically revalidate the how do you say? It'll automatically revalidate whatever is currently in the scripts.
You're now listening to Dream Station.
Oh. Is it because I called it in like a response? Check the call stack. Yeah, because I think I call this function somewhere. So we create it. And on create, we call create this initialize script panel. So are we calling on refresh somewhere? Call on refresh and then call check errors. And I'm assuming inside the check errors there's something that's not been validated yet. But who's calling on refresh? Oh, we're calling on refresh right here. And I'm assuming this is prior. Oh, because we call on refresh like immediately. Okay, so that doesn't work. Check for errors. Okay, I'm just gonna do one caveat for this then, because this might fix it. So I'll say if text editor. There we go. But anyway, I can check whether it's running. Did he add like a boolean or something? He did do a boolean operator over it. Doesn't have like a running variable or something. No, it's just there's no running. I don't see anything. So I suppose not. Okay. So am I still? No, I'm not. Okay. I'll do this then. Wait, I think there should be though, like something indicating whether it started or not. Like, is it in the constructor? Hold on, let me see. Let me look at the, because maybe I can just move around the ordering of this and it might work then. So, if text editor panel, constructor, right? Okay. Yeah, we initialize text editor, give it a language definition by default. Give it a callback, wait file. Wait, let me see where this error gets thrown again. Oh, there's just sort of a compiler error. Let's see. Oh, what did I do? Oh, okay, right. Yeah, so I wasn't done with this. Let's put that back. Try it again. Have we checked for errors is the wrong thing to call, maybe? Yeah, let's see. So what's the problem? Okay, so text editor has not been initialized yet. Well, who's calling this? Script editor? Because we're in the initialize script function. Oh, we're in the initialize script panel. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So maybe the order of this just matters. Maybe if I go to maybe if I go to the editor app and just swap around the initialization for this, it might work. So let's go to the constructor. Maybe it's an init. Yeah, because the constructor doesn't do anything except for initialize static resources. So where's the script one? The script happens. Wait, where does the script one happen? Script editor. Where's the script editor? Oh, here it is. Okay, so can I just swap these? Or am I throwing in a crazy bug? Let's see. I mean, it would make sense to initialize the text editor first because it doesn't really use anything in particular, especially in its initialization stages. Okay, yeah, no, that worked. Oh, wait, I gotta see. Okay. So, probably because I didn't save it. Okay, so let's add send bacon back. And I'm hoping it will just automatically... Yes. Yes. I don't know why it doesn't like autocomplete this immediately. I should check that. But yes, that works perfectly. So cool. Okay, there's a little bug I wanted to fix. Okay, and then the other bug. The other bug is so this was bugging me. This was bugging me a bit. So whenever you create like an AI state, let me take a look at it. Or was it AI state or was it actually I should probably do this for this as well. Actually, yeah, that actually could be an issue as well. So including this. Imagine if I decided to put like a space here. This is still technically valid, right? Like, this is still technically valid. It's just a string, right? But then if you try to use it in here with a space, it's gonna like throw everything off. So basically I'm gonna allow you to type it in with spaces, right? But when I actually like process it, it's gonna get like concatenated like this, basically. So let me go do that real quick. And since we just made sure that this operation thing works here, right? We can just use this immediately. So what I might even do is just see if they have like a remove white space. Yeah, you know what? I might even just do like a remove white space. Let's see if ChatGPT can throw me something real quick. Give me a function that removes all the white space from a string similar to in syntax to the above. Maybe not syntax, maybe like convention. I don't know. Let's see. So it says erase SG erase if is white space. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Here. So I can void remove white space from string, provide a reference to the string, std erase if unsigned car. I don't see why it needs to be an unsigned car. Oh well, yeah, I guess so. We just call it car. Yeah. I'll just leave it that way. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't like these looking like this. Let me bring that. And it says so erase if it is white space. Character. I'm just gonna put character. I hate having one letter things. I know people love having like really compact code, but I don't care for it. I mean, as you can tell. I'd rather be able to read it. Okay, so I think this should work though. Yeah. So let's go head over to the problem area. I think it's project panel. And wherever we edit these. Okay, so here. What I want to do is just do utility operations, remove white space. Cannot convert from void to string type. What are you talking about? Is it because this is edit text current option? Wait, what? Is it because I like erased like a Wait, that's weird. Hold on. So let's do SE string law equal to utility operations. Remove that space from string. And again, this is a editor thing, so I don't really care if it's. What, does it not return anything? Oh yeah, it doesn't return anything. That's why. So I think if I call this function by itself, I shouldn't have an issue. Oh yeah, okay, I got you. Okay, so we just need to call this a ensure input string does not use whitespace. Okay, and then we'll do that here as well. Oh wait, there's no, we don't use this here. That should be fine. Current option. So yeah, just making sure that the input one doesn't have, yeah, so this is fine. Okay, and then the other place I wanted to make sure this is being done is in the project components. So I gotta think, where do I write the project? I totally forgot where I did the project. I think I just had the project component panel. There. And then initialize component. So delete component is fine. Delete alone. Close component. Close. Deletes fields. Can a component name have whitespace? I think so. I wouldn't prefer it though, but I don't think it's like a deal breaker. But the fields, yeah, definitely. They definitely do not need whitespace. So string to wrap bar type. Add field to no components, and then string to wrap bar type. Wait, what did I hear? So the type. Oh, here's the name, because when I call this function, I'm assuming I'm providing the type first, and then the name. Okay, yeah. So I want to edit this one, make sure there's no white space. So whenever we add a field, and then whenever we edit one as well. And edit type. And edit field type. Edit field name. With the pop-up action. So this just gets the value. Here's where I want it, I think. So edits, components, field name, and field type. Yeah. Yeah, because in no case should we be having one that does have a space, so. This is the type, this is the name, act field, component. Okay, cool. Okay, and then I think also when I make the actual component itself, components. Oh no, yeah, the component name, you know, have a space in it, like definitely. So where's the point where I get project component handle? This is open project component. And then we want create project component. And tag header.label. Create project component with the name. So here we're going to make sure that so we want to do it prior to the checking. So we want to do this. Yeah, leave that as an error. That's fine. Let's head down to wherever we do this. And then we want component name.current option. And we want to make sure that we are not allowed to add white space here. Then we process it, it'll just do it without the white space, which is good. Okay, I think that's good. Because I don't think there is a way to edit the name of a component. You have to just delete it. I could add that as an API, but it would make my code a lot more complex than it needs to be. I think I'd rather just reform the component in that case. I might change my opinion later if I find a good way to do it, but for now I'm gonna leave it alone. So yeah, there's no other issues or bugs that I can think of right now, this off the top of my head. So I believe that's pretty much it for now, as long as this compiles and like it works for the most part. The way I'm gonna go ahead and test these is I'm just gonna try them out in Pong. So next stream I'm gonna be, you know, just trying to get Pong to work with this AI and see what I can do with it, right? But at this point, basically, pretty much done, as far as I can tell. Let's go ahead and test out these new little functions I added. Make sure I didn't throw in any silly bugs. So the first thing is, let's go here. Okay, wait. For some reason it's not being edited. I keep forgetting to save it. And bacon. Okay, so see I added a space here, so it shouldn't be present here. There we go. Save it. Exit. Let's open it back up. Let's make sure that that appears. Okay, it does appear. So yeah, no spaces if I add another one. And cheese. I can't add tabs anyways. Can't add space. And space just closes it. Right, this should all get concatenated. Yeah, it's just a long thing, but yeah, you see it's all just one line of text, right? So that's good. And same thing should be true for when I add a component. So if I add a new component type, I'm gonna call it a test component. I try to add a space. It should remove it. See, yep, got rid of it. Perfect. And then if I try to add a space into a new field, oh, I shouldn't add strings. I think strings are kind of weird right now. Vector 3 though is fine. Concatenates together. Perfect. Let's go ahead and save it. Check this test component real quick. Perfect. Yep, let's go ahead and delete this. Alright, I had to like do a bit of processing between all the scenes, but yeah, that was fine. Okay, so I think that's working. So yeah, I think next stream I'm gonna go ahead and just try out this new system with Palm and see if it works. So I'm excited. Yeah, let me go ahead and close up this stream and see. So yeah. So yeah, let me go ahead and push this code. It's quite a bit of code this time. So this might take me a second.
It doesn't take much to poison a young man's soul, particularly a soul through pain and helplessness.
Am I wrong, but whatever. Let's see. Oh yeah. Space. I should probably add this feature to like the rest of my panels, but I'll do that a bit later. Remove whitespace automatically from... I just want to make sure that these were working, because if I don't, then it's really going to mess up my scripts. Remove whitespace automatically from... components and get it. Oh yeah, and then image states. Two scripts. AIService. AIService. Two scripts. Service. Okay, I think that's it for the most part. So I guess as a summary, what do we do? Implementing finish implementing AI service static. Okay. So we already updated the progress board. And alright, so I may be back online today. I'm thinking about coming back to go ahead and work on Pong, but I'll see. I might have something to do today later. But either way, I'll go ahead and start up another stream tomorrow, and then we can go ahead and get Pong working and actually see some AI working. That'll be cool. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Hope you guys have a good day if I don't see you.